Good afternoon. How's everyone doing today? I am doing absolutely fabulous, fantastic. And I'm so excited because if it's noon on Tuesday, you know it is Thinking Tuesday. So thank you so much for joining me again for Thinking Tuesday. You know that on Thinking Tuesday, we tend to put aside a few moments of our busy day and we check in with our thinking. We put aside some time to just check in with our thinking because everything begins with how we think. As James Allen, the well known author, says, as a man thinketh, so is he. And he is definitely correct. But in order to address today's issues of inclusivity, I will paraphrase that to say that as a person thinks, so are they. So everything actually begins with what we believe and how we think. And that's what I keep trying to focus on during Thinking Tuesday. And that's why we have embraced the slogan here on Thinking Tuesday that your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. And you can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. That's a metaphor for our thoughts, our mind, and how we cultivate our thinking. James Allen also states something familiar. He says, man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. And those are the weeds, the negative thoughts, the negative thinking, the self limiting thinking that sometimes we subscribe to. So, Thinking Tuesday is all about cultivating a positive mindset. And I'm so glad that you joined me again. And I would urge you to share this message with someone else who can benefit from it. We also know that our thinking feeds our feelings, and our feelings feed our action. So, why shouldn't we check in with the originator of it all, which is our thinking? How is your thinking? How is your mindset? What is your mindset, I should say? And how is that serving you? How is it serving you in your relationships? How is it serving you in your career? How is it serving you in your personal life, in your personal growth? Our biggest asset as human beings is the way we think. So why not use it to its fullest potential? Use your thinking, use your mind to its fullest potential. That's our greatest asset. So, the message I want to share with you today is a simple one I've been thinking about. The peace you seek is already within you. Yes, it is that simple. The peace you seek is already within you. But although that is simple, it is often elusive, unfortunately. Why? Because we tend to seek things outside of ourselves to satisfy us. And as a result, we end up feeling frustrated, dissatisfied, sometimes angry, feeling defeated, depressed, and a host of other negative feelings which can really be avoided if we seek first within ourselves. I'm really not making light of this. It can be really difficult sometimes to look within ourselves because sometimes we find things there that we don't like to see, that we don't want to see, things that we don't want to admit about ourselves. We're very protective of who we are. And unfortunately, in being protective, many times we lose who we are. We avoid seeing things and owning things about ourselves just because when we're confronted by them, it means that we have to make a change. And change is difficult. Many of us prefer to stay in our comfort zone, even though it's not taking us where we would like to go. So change is not always easy. But all this avoidance leads us to miss the peace that we seek. So we avoid, and it has consequences. Whether we like it or not, we cannot avoid developing the awareness of something and expect change to occur. Change will not occur if we don't try to become aware of those things that would lead us to a better life, to have a better life, better relationships. Famous author Donald Walsh puts it like this: if you don't go within, you will go without. You have to take that journey within. Look at those dark places, those things that we don't like to see about ourselves or even admit about ourselves. But not admitting them doesn't mean that they're not there. And according to my fellow psychotherapist, Nathaniel Braden, the first step towards change is awareness. Awareness. And the second step is acceptance. First, we become aware, and then we have to accept. I see this every day in my coaching and psychotherapy practice. Once my clients develop that awareness, and it's such a beautiful thing to see, once they develop that awareness of what has been blocking their progress, oh, it's just an amazing thing. What has been causing them to feel stuck? And once they are willing to accept these as the barriers to their success, doors begin to open. The light bulb goes off. They begin to see things differently and work to approach things differently, and therein make the changes in their lives. So they allow themselves to go within so that they do not continue to go without. I personally had a recent encounter with a great awareness about something that was frustrating me about the actions of someone. It was there before me all along, but I was not ready nor willing to accept it, I guess. The change that had to occur had to begin within me. It had to begin within me and how I was viewing that experience. You would not believe the relief I felt, really and truly, when I was able to release my expectations and confront what I had to do within myself in order to make the change occur. It had to come from within me. The peace I was seeking outside of myself was already within me. I just had to have the courage to tap into me and to look inward and to make a change. I had to own it. I had to embrace it. I had to embrace it and to let go of the thinking that was leading to frustration and disappointment in order to move forward. Knowing that I have control of how I think and how that would impact my feelings and my actions. And you have that same ability to as well. The challenge that most people have is that they want to see changes in their environment, in their relationships, but they're unwilling to make changes within themselves. That's the challenge that we have. We look to our environment. We want all the changes to be made by others outside of ourselves. But we're not willing. We're afraid to make those changes. It reminds me of two of my favorite quotes from the late Wayne Dyer, who said, "If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." So it starts with you. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And another favorite quote of mine from Wayne Dyer is, you cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. You can control your thinking, your feelings, and then your action. So you have to give up to go up or to grow up, because that's how we grow. Unfortunately, we can't always have or live by the Burger King mentality, have it your way. Well, I guess you can, but it has its consequences, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. But you decide. You decide which one. So it always starts with you. So remember, the peace you seek is already within you. And that is great news. Great news. What are you willing to give up to let go to be able to achieve that peace that you are seeking? What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to change your thinking in order to see and experience the great possibilities in your life? Because there are great possibilities out there waiting for you. And while you're doing that self-examination, are you really willing to allow yourself to dream and dream big, to cultivate that positive mindset, to remove barriers and self-limiting thoughts that rob you of growing to higher heights? Because that's what they do. They stunt our growth. They don't allow us to live our dreams or even allowing yourself to dream. So are you willing to cultivate that mindset that allow you to grow higher and dream bigger, or even dream at all? If you're willing to challenge yourself to dream, to really live your dream and to experience all that you can be, do, and have, then join me. Join me and my partner, Angela Hooper Minifield, on the beautiful island of Martha's Vineyard on Tuesday, August 16th, for a 3-hour workshop that will transform your life. Are you really living your dream? Are you really living your dream? Join other like-minded persons who will be attending, who are seeking to elevate their minds and experience themselves more fully as they learn how to bring their dreams into reality. Now, you may register at www.livemydream.vip. That's www.livemydream.vip. You may also register through Eventbrite. Look for Are You Really Living Your Dream? That information can also be found on my website, drcherylburton.com. You may register there as well. And while you're there, just peruse through the programs and services that I offer to help you in your personal growth journey, your professional growth journey. You can also reach out there for a complimentary consultation, to speak to me privately, to guide you in some area where you might feel stuck, or some idea that you have, that you need guidance, you need a thinking partner. Reach out to me for a complimentary consultation. And as I usually ask you, please share this message with others that you love, that you care about, who you feel can benefit from this. Because when you find something useful for yourself, you want to share it with others, correct? Good. Also, you may see all of my previous Thinking Tuesday messages on my YouTube channel, Cheryl Burton, Thinking Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you in Martha's Vineyard. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at noon for another uplifting, inspiring, growth-producing message on Thinking Tuesday. So take care. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye for now. Take care.